Hey guys, how's it going? Value Venture Investing here today. So today we saw iRobot report its Q1 2021 results. Now I talked about this company over a year ago, back when I thought it was an amazing buy and we doubled up and then some. So I'm going to get into this video, their earnings quickly, what they just reported, and what I'm going to be doing going forward in terms of my coverage of the company, in terms of if I'm going to be purchasing again in the future. Taking a look at the stock, just been getting hammered lately. As of recording this, after hours, it's down over 8%, sitting around $95 a share-ish. And as of course you guys knew, I sold out at about 110, 120. I know it went a little bit higher than that, but I figured that was a pretty fair value. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit later in this video, in terms of their valuation metrics, just basically. But in terms of the quarter, we saw revenue of $303.3 billion. Now that's up significantly from Q1 last year, where it was about $192 million. And the estimate was about 264.1 million. So that's a huge beat there. Also keep in mind it's up 58% year over year. But also keep in mind maybe one of the reasons that the stock is falling a bit, I'm thinking, is maybe just expectations going forward. Q1 last year, what was going on, right? We were just starting this crisis. Even though these are very strong numbers, comparing it to that quarter maybe has some people going kind of like, so what kind of thing. EPS was 26 cents a share versus 9 expected. Taking a look at last year, again, here is about 64 cents loss. And again, guys, if you want to take a look at this spreadsheet, let me know down below if you'd like me to put it on Patreon. I've kind of been building these with some of the companies that I've been following. Kind of makes it an easy way to kind of look at it. You could pause the screen here, look at it year over year. In terms of cash, this is one I really like. They have over $500 million in cash right now. They're in a very strong cash position. And again, a year ago, that was about $263 million in cash. So they've really built up that cash position, even in comparison to last quarter sequentially, right? So these are all around very strong numbers. I haven't listened to the conference call yet, but I read through some of the report, or all of the report, I guess. And a couple little things to note. Not a lot that's really notable, and maybe that's why the stocks is not kind of responding the way it is. E-commerce grew 90% year over year. Now that's amazing. That's great. I mean, the cost structure, that can be really great for them. But that's kind of to be expected, again, with what's going on, right? They like to talk that up a lot, and maybe that's why people are like, yeah, well, that's kind of to be expected. Even though it is a positive, it's kind of to be expected right now. The one that I like the most, and companies like Apple and stuff are very good at buybacks, and I do love that. They're going to be doing $50 million buyback. They got authorization between April and September, and that's, if you recall from my other videos, that's from the $200 million that they've authorized. So pretty soon that share count's going to be coming down a bit and making the metrics a little bit more attractive. In terms of guidance, again, this is kind of a good news, sort of so what kind of scenario. It was good. They guided for revenue $1.67 billion to $1.71 billion for 2021. And last quarter, their guidance was, they were figuring was about 1.635 to 1.675. So it's it's kind of like a little bit lower on this end and a little bit higher on this end. So kind of a mixed bag there, but pretty much like right in line if you look at it, right? EPS they've kept in line at $1.85 to $2.10. And again, I spoke about in the last video that this was a little bit lower, and maybe that's why there's a little bit disappointment with the stock, because it was a little bit lower than people expected. But then again, they're offering a lot of new services. They were talking about specifically now they're offering longer warranty coverage, which is kind of a good thing. I mean, I've had a Roomba for 7 years and I've never had a problem. But so, I mean, if they're well built, that's a very good incremental revenue stream. They're also talking about this, on-demand, a service kind of thing. I'm not too sure what that entails yet. Maybe they'll talk about that a little bit on the conference call. So all these things have costs associated with them. So just like a higher research and development cost, I don't necessarily see this as like a really bad thing. So now if we take a look at some of their valuation metrics here and their statistics, this is something that we kind of originally looked at. And so it's kind of interesting to go back. I'm not too sure exactly how accurate this is right now, to see kind of where we're at these prices. So the market cap is $2.95 billion, and the trailing P is 20, forward's about 19. So we're looking about a PE of 20. Price to sales is a little high for my liking, but these all around aren't very bad. So keep in mind a market cap of 2.95 billion for a company that's making 1.43 billion. Still not unattractive in any measure in my mind, but it wasn't like the slam dunk that we saw before. Before, I think you watched my first video, I was like, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be a doubler within 5 years. It tended to be, or it ended up rather, being a lot quicker than that. But that's kind of how I look at the risk-reward sort of thing. And now you guys know that I'm out of the stock, but if we keep seeing it dropping, I might jump back in. The only thing that makes me a little hesitant is there's kind of a lot of unknowns, and I've been a little bit disappointed with kind of the product development that's been going on. I think they have the best products, but a lot of competition coming in, and these competitors are using a lot of technology that Roomba or iRobot, it just kind of has been not paying attention to. They still use their cameras. They have their most powerful robot still using the cameras. And in my mind, that has some disadvantages over LiDAR and stuff. You can only run it at when it's light out, stuff like that. And I've seen a couple of the products that came out. A new one I didn't even mention here, like a handheld vacuum. I'm just kind of like, they're showing a lot of growth in the overseas and the United States. So I guess they're focusing on that. But it just makes me wonder, worry that investors might not be too excited about it, and that's why you might not see much of a richer valuation. So it all depends on what happens to the stock price going forward. Again, I've made my money on it. I was out about 110, 120. We'll see how things go. Also, guys, I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep making videos on iRobot if things stay around this level, because I usually make videos on things that are like slam dunks or like things that I like to cover. And I notice a lot of people don't necessarily watch these as well. So if you want me to keep making videos like this, leave a comment down below. So I may or may not going forward, we'll see. But let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think about their quarter as well, and how you think they're going to fare going forward. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.